Hey folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at USC Reach, which is brought to you by Arvis Games Inc. It's for 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, and games usually run about 45 to 90 minutes. In USC Reach, it's time to leave Earth behind and find a new world. On the way, you will discover the marvels of the universe, rescue rookie space travelers, scavenge resources, improve your crew and ship by using deck building, hand management, and variable phase order mechanics. Your goal here is to secure a safe landing location on humanity's new home planet and collect the most points to win the game. To do that, you must gather your crew and allocate them strategically to your ship departments to overcome the challenges of space before others, while keeping an eye on your landing requirements. In the end, the player who has most efficiently used their crew and succeeded in hitting their landing zone and completed some side missions will have the most victory points to win the game. So this is a deck builder, and each player is going to be starting with a standard set of crew cards for all the different departments on your ship. You're going to have junior level and mid-level crew, and you can upgrade these through the course of the game, which is really nice. And they do give you some option here by turning the card and using it as a general worker, but you'll reduce the power, the effectiveness of the card when you do that, but it might be needed at times. Each player receives a screen which represents your ship really, and you're going to be playing your cards behind the screen. I have it face up here just to show for the video, but these screens flip up and you'll be playing those crew in front of the different departments as you need to through the course of the game. And there's some other variation on the sides of these, and once you go into the missions, you'll be flipping it down, showing how you're best going to use your crew. Now, each player also has their own ship designated to them in their color and so forth. And that's really kind of the start of what you're using as a player. Now, you have the main board as well, where there's a series of hexes that will define the different turns of the game. However, every 3 of these hexes is a round, and you have 3 rounds, which means you have 9 turns in order to complete your landing cycle. And you'll see there's a series of cards. These cards represent the different rounds, but they're missions you're going to be trying to fulfill in order to expand your crew, give you different benefits, more power in different areas. These cards are going to do various things, and you hope to have the crew and the power of each of those crew in order to fulfill the mission requirements. Also, you have damage cards. Damage cards are going to come into play when you hit certain sectors, and you can mitigate that damage with crew. There are different ways to do that. You can plan for damage, or you can put crew on current damage, things like that. Also, there are experience tokens that you can apply based on the missions that you succeed in. It will allow you to upgrade certain crew members and so forth. And finally, each player is dealt a landing card. This is your goal, your objective in order to be in the running to win the game. You fulfill the requirements of your landing and try to get the maximum amount of victory points here. There are some side quests you'll see at the bottom of the card as well, but you have to have the right crew in order to land your ship. So each screen again represents your ship and all the different departments that you'll be augmenting with crew. Now, every player's screen is going to have slightly different starting power for those departments to give you some variation in gameplay. But in general, again, you're going to be augmenting those different departments in order to fulfill missions and fulfill your landing cycle at the end of the game. Each turn of the game consists of 2 phases. First, we have the planning phase, where you will grab a space tile and play it on the board. Then we'll resolve damage if there is damage on the tile located at the bottom. You'll draw cards, and these damage cards are going to relate directly to the different departments on your ship. However, if it happens to be the first tile of the round, you'll ignore this step. And then you're going to draw mission cards. Again, based on the round you're in will determine which deck you draw from, but you'll draw a number of cards based on the player count +1, and you'll display those on the board getting ready for the next phase. Then each player will take their ship or their player screen and stand it up and then draw 5 cards from their crew deck. Now you can start to decide where you want to play these cards, but you also need to be mindful if you have damage going on that you may need to use some workers to negate some of that damage or prepare to repair it on the different departments that are in play. So lots of different ways you can go with that damage, but you'll need to keep that in mind. There's also mission cards that you acquire through the game that may help you negate damage as well. So you have lots of options through the course of the game to deal with this damage for sure. And the second phase of the turn is the resolution phase. And the first thing you're doing as the players is that you're going to reveal your screens, what you've done behind them, how you've set up your crew. And then you're looking at the tile that's in play. At the top of the tile will be an icon, and whoever has the most power in that particular department will be the first player. And then you'll go around second, third, and fourth. That will just determine player order. And in turn order, you're going to start to claim missions from the mission row. These are going to aid you in your objective of landing on a new world. Lots of different benefits from these cards for sure. But let's take a look at this one. It's one of my favorites because it does a lot to help you with damage. This is the reboot. Now, if it's the first tile of the round, you'll use the small numbers at the top of the requirements. If it's later in the round, then you use the bigger numbers at the bottom. But here you're going to need research, crew, and command to fulfill this card. You'll grab this card and you'll be able to use it to help negate damage. You'll be able to use it to repair 3 damage immediately. Just a fantastic card. So lots of benefits from these cards, giving you variation and how you can get crew, get experience points, and all the different things you need to augment your abilities and gain that upper hand when you try to land on the planet. Now at the end of your turn, you're going to be leaving the cards that you played in the different departments where they are. And you'll be drawing up in that next turn more cards from your main crew deck. And you'll be able to augment those different departments moving forward through that round. But if it's into the round, you're gonna gather up your cards, reshuffle them, get ready for that next level 2 or level 3 round, and gearing up to get even bigger and better type of missions. Also at the end of the round, you resolve the Junior Academy by upgrading different type of crew, or you may need to resolve different repairs that you're having ongoing through the course of that particular round. So those are the main things you're doing for end of round, and then at the end of the game, after the 9th turn, then you're going to enter into the landing phase. So at the end game, when you're trying to resolve your landing, if you can't resolve your landing card, you can't fulfill the different requirements, and the requirements are much like the missions. It's going to require a different power level from all the different departments, and there's even bonus points that you can get based on side missions, so to say. But if you can't fulfill the main part of this card, then you're out of the running and you can't participate at the end of the game. You just failed to land on the planet at that point. But if you can, then you're going to total up all your points and you hope to be the best commander who best utilize their crew in order to land on the planet. Alright folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview. Everything you've seen here has been in prototype form, so keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now with that said, I really liked how they did the deck building in this game, how you best utilize your crew. You might end up having them use them as basic workers to negate damage coming in, and how you best use those mission cards to augment everything you're doing through the course of the game. Now the neat thing here though is the fact that at that landing cycle, it really does feel like you're gearing up through the whole course of the game. You're gearing up, gaining power, getting better crew in order to fulfill that landing and safely land on the planet. It does have a very thematic feel to it as you pull together the right resources and cards and fulfill those missions, because they're really going to help you out. I really like the different mission cards and all the different bonuses they provide. But folks, ultimately, if this looks like something of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it for me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.